Mic check, mic check. Okay. I just wanted to have a quick optional meeting. I will still meet with everybody, by the way, tonight at 6:30 instead of 7. Should be a brief meeting, by the way. Everything. Oh, hi, Lauren. I think it's just you and I at the moment, which is totally fine. I am. Here, I can put the camera on here. I can still meet with people tonight, but the meetings are absolutely optional. Um, I was just trying to connect a little bit earlier if possible, and it's fine if it's just you and I. I was going to move up our the meeting tonight till 6:30 for the people that were planning on meeting tonight, just because of the short notice. But basically, let me share my screen because all the classes look the same at this point. I've simplified it for everybody. All you do is click on modules right here, and where it says start here, I do have the class meeting here. I uploaded that, but it's literally, this is just all the assignments and everything. It's just under start here. All the other stuff is no longer applicable. That's just like formulas and information and everything. But there's no more group projects. It's completely online asynchronously. And all of these things will help everybody understand the material. And there's due dates and everything published right here. And that's literally it. So as long as you're on top of your deadlines, you can work at your own pace, online asynchronously. There is not. Okay, looks like people are able to make it. Okay, awesome. Okay, I wasn't sure if the short notice would work, but I'm glad it did. There is not an attendance requirement. There is not a requirement to do notes. That had come up organically initially, but there's not a requirement to do that. The meetings are optional. So the purpose of a meeting would be if you guys need it. What I have here, I've made it incredibly simple. We are using Connect. Um, where it says start here, all the classes, all the sections look like this. This was just the meeting from last time. You're literally just going through these week to week, and those assignments, as long as you hit the deadlines, should work. I did over here. I was mindful of spring break, so you only don't really have stuff due. I think there might be one section where something's due March 9th, but generally speaking, that there's about a 2 week break because we have a week break, and you're just literally doing the connect assignments, and that's a total of 8,200 points total, midterm and final, 1,000 points apiece, 6,200 points for everything, like all this stuff, and that's it. That's all we're doing. It's online asynchronous. There's no longer any projects. It's just the connect stuff. The syllabi should reflect that as such. There is not an attendance requirement. Attendance is optional. Now, I do have a bunch of pre-recorded videos, except for I think maybe the last chapter of multiple regression. So we can meet weekly if you all need it. That's fine. That's totally optional. I don't need your notes. I'm going to track. I'm going to track your points just on this stuff right here. There is not an attendance requirement at all because it's online asynchronous. I think I might have initially said, "Hey, take notes," but don't worry about that. Completely scratch that. And the only reason we would meet weekly would either be to explain stuff in greater detail if you had questions, or walk you through stuff. We would probably need maybe 30 minutes to an hour or slightly more if I'm explaining stuff to you. But the way this is built with the smart book, it will explain it on its own as well. But I still have all these resources in here like master formulas, review cards, and I even have a lot of pre-recorded stuff of me explaining the same sort of content to everybody. So I hope that makes more sense for everybody. We don't have to meet tonight at 7. We could. I just wanted to get everybody on the same page and record this. So it's really, like I said, it's just the smart book stuff, which is Connect. You just follow the link. If you buy it directly from the publisher, you're going to save money rather than from like the school bookstore. I don't have anything due until the 19th, so there's still 6 days, and there's a 2 week free trial with Connect before you'd have to pay for it. It will expire in 2 weeks, but if you're like, hey, I can't afford the book yet, you still could do that. But it's literally just to start here. Again, this is our class meeting. No attendance requirement, just the smart book stuff. And then once you get done with that, you're done. All this stuff right here, this is just for enrichment. And when you start to see like chapter 1 and stuff, This is just stuff that like help explain stuff. Like there's multimedia resources that explain a lot of the things. There's even recordings of me pre-recorded explaining nearly everything. So what I'd really like to know from the people that are able to attend right now, do you want to meet weekly? We don't have to. The whole idea was really for it to be optional to explain something, say if it isn't clear. You could literally go through the class and just do the all the smart book stuff and be fine, but I don't want anyone feeling like I'm not available or that you can't reach me. So does anyone want to grab their mic or maybe the chat and tell me your thoughts? Because attendance is not required in an online class. I was using an older syllabus, so I apologize if anything was unclear, but there is not an attendance requirement. It's really, really optional. So, do you want to check in once a week? And if you can make it, you make it. If you can't, you can't. Um, does a time of 6:30 every Tuesday work, or would you rather just only meet if we need to if you request it? What would work the best for everybody that's here? Could you all give me some feedback? I'd love to hear from all or some of you.
Professor, I think having it as a optional choice, even if you just log in and if I give it like 5, 10 minutes, no one shows up, that just means everyone's good, everyone's fine, and call it a day. And then if there are people who need help, it's there, which would be good, or even just doing it every other week would be good.
No, that's absolutely something that I can do. Um, and could you please all email me or text me and not anyone else if there's a concern? Because I'm readily available for all of you guys if there's a concern or a problem or anything, because I will 100% address it and assist you guys. If anything's wonky, doesn't make sense, feels like there's a concern about any policies, would you just please reach out to me directly and no one else? That would be really, really helpful if you guys just please reach out to me directly moving forward. Is that a fair request?
Yes, understood.
Okay, cool. So so the plan for tonight, we could still meet, but the only purpose for us to meet would be one of basically two things. One, for me to basically show this again to everybody, which I'm recording right now. And if you wanted to walk through the next chapter and what the concepts are, we can do that. That'd be the purpose of meeting. Or we can not meet, and this is the meeting for tonight for everybody. And I can put that out in an email as such, like the meeting tonight is canceled. We had a brief meeting explaining this. Um, would that work for everyone? And then moving forward, it would probably be. I know I can do 6:30 on Tuesday. That's why I suggested that. And when I initially said, by the way, a couple hours, I was guesstimating from teaching the course before. We would never need that long. So we could do a 6:30 weekly or every other week, whatever you need, check in. But if no one shows up in like 5, maybe 10 minutes tops, we call it. And then if you guys ever need to meet with me one on one via phone, which I think you all have my cell phone. If you don't, I can put that in the chat. Um, I can meet with people one on one if we ever need to, or we'll just save that for the 6:30 meeting on Tuesdays. Or if this is really a good time for everybody, I could do like a 4:15 or a 4:30. But my absolute stop point, if we meet this early in the day, would be like 5. Like I couldn't meet past 5. I'd have to jump off a little before 5. Any thoughts on that in terms of like the meeting time? Is there a preference for Tuesdays? Just what do you
To
think?
be honest, I feel like students know what they're signing up for, and even what you're doing now is beyond the scope. It's very generous of you. And if there is, most teachers with these online courses, they'll email you directly when there's an issue, and if there is multiple students with the same issue, that's when you send a wide email to everyone. And other than that, just sometimes everyone's doing their work and communicating with you with deadlines if they can't do it would be already the requirement and expectation of taking a online course.
Okay. For like the weekly check-ins, is there a preference on like say like 4:15 or 4? I could probably meet as early as 4 on a Tuesday. That's probably pretty doable. Um, or probably not again until like a little after 6. Does anyone have a preference on the time? Is one better than the other for everybody?
I'm thinking about 4 is a good time, and also these check-ins should be just, hey, do you have any questions about the lessons or the course, or is there any problem that you're seeing, and not a full-blown lesson of the previous week. And so even from 4 to 5 or 4:15 to 5 is ample amount of time.
Okay. I can absolutely commit to that. I can do that. So what I think I'll do is I'll probably cancel the meeting tonight. This is the check-in now. The reason I'm thinking 4:15 is I live very close to my like 9 to 5 job, but I do work until 3:35, and sometimes I get random conversations at the end of the day that I'm not expecting. So that's why I'm thinking 4:15, because I know I can be home by 4:15. I'm usually home before 4 o'clock. That was my only concern. I wouldn't want to be like, oh, I'm running late, and then have you guys think I forgot about you or something. So we'll call it 4:15 then, I guess. They give us 45 minutes, and then if we start to get close to 5 and there's still questions, I would just address it at that point and say, hey, you know what? We're gonna meet a little bit later tonight or another time later in the week or something.
I think that's fair. And if it's one student, it could be a, hey, let's um pause this, table talk this, and get back to it. I will get back to you at a later time type of deal versus um holding anybody up or holding you up.
Okay, I will do that. Does everyone know? Here, I'm gonna put this in here again. I'm just putting that my number in there again. If for any, so we're gonna do 4:15 solid every week moving forward. Um, would taking notes on the slides be supplemental to our comprehension of the subject? Since you said taking notes, yeah, it would help you, but I'm not going to require it. And like I said, I'm just going to do the points in Connect. That's it. Um, and I'm pretty sure there's not a time limit on that stuff at all. If for any reason, and I'm just stating this to be helpful for you guys. If for any reason you don't see me at 4:15, you should absolutely be calling or texting me so I can get back to you. Now, I'm not a flake. I will totally be there at 4:15. I'm just saying if for some reason they have some random unexpected meeting at 3:30 that goes till 4:30, you guys should be texting me so I can be like, "Hey, I'm delayed." I really doubt that would ever happen, but occasionally things run longer than expected, and that'd be the only reason that would happen. And I would communicate that to you guys. So we're going to do 4:15 till about 5 if we need it, or just 4:15 to like 4:30 weekly, and then you're just literally going through all this stuff. It's a smart book. It does require some reading. There's some assignments, assessments, etc. I did not put a time limit on these. I only put due dates on these, so they should run pretty smoothly. If you see anything that's weird or wonky with this, due dates, anything unusual, just talk to me. And then my only request is if anything happens, I'd really like you guys to tell me before the due date if you feel like you're running out of time or something's happening that's unexpected. Would that be would that be fair? I'm a thumbs up.
I
Okay.
think that's very fair.
Okay. So I do plan to adhere to like the deadlines. Now, if something unforeseen like you get hit by a bus, God forbid, of course I'm a reasonable human being. I would probably ask for you to like, show me some documentation or something like that. But with everybody being adults here, I do expect you guys to hit the deadlines unless, like I said, there's something unusual or you tell me in advance. Um, I'm not unreasonable if you were to miss a deadline, but because of the nature of the class, you don't really want to be doing everything like last minute. If that makes sense. Because like you just like you can't like even if I was like flexible on a
Uh,
deadline, you'd run into a train wreck. Hi. So
Hello?
what we're doing moving forward is we're going to meet at 4:15 every Tuesday up until about 5 or just before, and it's really just more like it's almost like office hours for questions or concerns, and we're just using the smart book under the start here tab and all the classes, and that's all the points period, which is a total of 8,200 points, and then it's the percentage of that that drives your grade, and it'll track that and tell you what do you got. Eric two, I don't know if that's the right name. I think you
It's me, Lucas.
Lucas, that's right. Yeah,
Sorry, it didn't. Yeah, you changed it last time, but this
I can
thing.
change it again. It's no problem.
Sorry for being a couple minutes late. I thought we were meeting up at 7.
Yes, and we still can. I decided to try to meet a little bit earlier because someone had raised a concern that 7 was really late to meet.
Yeah, I thought that too.
So that's why I was like, well, maybe I can just meet quickly and shoot an email out to everybody and meet a little bit earlier. And then my plan was to cancel this 7 o'clock meeting, which I'll communicate over email. And this is more of like a check in. And the purpose of us meeting would either be to explain something that's unclear, or for me to walk you guys through something, or just kind of a check in like, hey, things are going well, not so well, I'm stuck on this or that. Because there's really not a need, unless you guys need it, to really have like a formal lecture week to week. I do still have a bunch of pre recorded stuff. I think nearly everything except for multiple regression I've already pre recorded. Um, but literally, we're just going to do this stuff, if you can still see my screen, right here in the smart book. And that's all the points. Anything else is just supplementary information. And I do have some stuff here, formulas, you know, PowerPoints, etc., that do align with what we're doing. And I may post some additional stuff, but really, just to going in here and hitting these deadlines at your leisure is fine. And there is absolutely no attendance required. Just so everyone's clear on that policy. As long as you're doing the work, that's where your points come from. I also thought, Lucas, to also to your point, I also thought if I can meet with you guys earlier, you'd have the information sooner, it'd be recorded sooner, and then we wouldn't have to all meet late. You all have your dinners earlier, time with friends and family, etc. That's why I moved it up. So, and I know I told you all about like 10, 15 minutes out, but I was like, they're probably going to see their email. So,
Is there anything I missed in the last 15 minutes, by the way?
just we're going to use the smart book. No attendance is required. To email me directly or text me directly if there's any problems or concerns about anything in the syllabus, in the policies of the course. Just reach out to me directly, please, instead of anybody else. Give me a chance to address it. I assure you guys, I'm a reasonable human being. I'm fair and equitable. And again, attendance does not affect the grade. I'm just asking everybody, just moving forward, if like something is concerning, irritating you, or you just have a plain question, reach out to me directly instead of anyone else at the school, because there's a pretty good chance I can address it accordingly. I think the biggest sort of elephant in the room was like initially I got a lot of feedback from you guys that like there was concerns about like me being available and being able to check in, and having regular guidance. Then we had a really big Zoom meeting, and then there was concern that the Zoom meetings were too much. So I think we found the best option: weekly check-ins, 4:15 up to about 5 if we need it, um, and that's completely optional. And it's more of like, here's where I'm at, that sort of thing.
Thanks for answering.
Yeah. So starry when you get here, starry her. Hang on, someone's joining. Hopefully, is joining. Why is she not joining? That's so weird. There are still
It's
exams. There's a midterm
it's
and a
joint
final. But the
Sorry, I
whole
was just saying that it's just me from a phone number. That way I can see your screen.
oh, so it's literally just so there's no more group projects. It's just these, all these, and then I do have there is a midterm and a final that's multiple choice true false. Um, it's 100 questions and it's a pool, so no one gets the same exam. Like you all get the same content. You don't misconstrue that. It's just I said give me 100 questions out of this bank of questions for everybody. Same content of the stuff you guys are looking at with this, and it's directly tied to the stuff that you're going through. I did like the first seven, and then I did like the last seven for the midterm and the final, and it's just the 14 chapters.
Might have missed it. Is the final exam and the midterms, is that through the same format or is it going to be a in-person take exam type deal?
Same format. I think I'm going to unpublish the final temporarily because I want to double check something just to make sure it's only addressing this content. But it's all online, all in Connect. Same format, all online, all asynchronous. Finals do the last day of class. And everyone's class, regardless of the section you're coming in on, should look the same. I just want to double check something on the final, so I'm just going to unpublish it briefly. I'll republish it back in the next day or two. And I think everything is open at this point, so you guys can work at whatever pace you want to work at. Literally just under the Start Here tab. For everybody now, why is that not showing? Oh, here it is. Yeah, Start Here. I just want to spot check something on the final, so I'm just unpublishing that. So just midterm and final, no group projects, just your individual stuff in the Smart Book. 2-week free trial if you need it from them. And then if you purchase it through the Connect website, like directly from the publisher, I think it's a little bit cheaper than going through the bookstore. Like I think it might even be substantially cheaper. And then the only other thing I had was just reach out to me directly if you have any concerns or questions or anything is wonky or doesn't make sense. It's I thought a Start Here tab would make it the simplest and easiest for everybody because it's literally you just follow that, and then I can certainly just put like the recordings like below this and just keep them all in the same spot. Anything else you're seeing here, like um, formulas, chapter one, these are not assignments. These are just resources to make things clearer for people. Any other questions, concerns? And I'll just recap for anyone that walked in. So, like, no attendance. Your points are 8,200 points, and then the percentage of that that'll automatically track should grade pretty quickly and publish right in the Canvas as you're going through it. Midterm and a final. Um, Coming to these chats, totally optional. No requirement for notes. Um, and 4:15 every Tuesday for basically a sense of like office hours. Like you check in with me, you ask me questions, etc. If we need to spend more time together, we will. But I would say probably 45 minutes at the outside, or like a 5 or 10 minute chat. So if I log in at 4:15 and I get to 4:20, 4:25, if I wait 5 or 10 minutes and no one shows up, no one's in trouble, no one's losing points. But then I'm gonna log off, and that's our chat for the week. And then I'll probably post something like, hey, no one showed up or something. How am I going to communicate? I've done announcements, but I feel like it's better when I do the mass email to you guys. And then moving forward, just call, text, or email me directly if there's anything that is a concern or a policy or something that's unclear. I did update the syllabus. It should reflect attendance not being tied to your grade anymore. So I think that's it. The people that have been here the whole time, did I miss anything on my recap? I think that was everything. Are there questions or concerns while you're all online tonight? or anything else that I can clarify, or any comments, or burning things that you're like, oh, I'm not sure if I should mention this thing, because you totally should, whatever it is. No meeting tonight at 7. Yeah, I was gonna email everybody that accordingly. I was basically doing this one in lieu of that one. I mean, I could meet again at 7 if you guys really wanted to. I know that there was some concern that was too late, so I was thinking just do it now. Email, text, Canvas, message. I honestly prefer a text. Because here's the thing, like I check my email a lot. Like I'm usually in there every day or two. I'm not always in there every single day, but I'm in there a lot. If you text me, I'm going to see it. And it's something that could be a best practice for the class would be you if you want to send an email and you want me to like look at the emails. I know sometimes like text won't always do it. You could send me a text, hey, I sent you a long email, please check your email. But I would prefer text because I'll see that the fastest, and then you guys aren't waiting or getting stressed out or concerned. So I think text or a call would be the best just because I'll see it quicker. But that doesn't mean you can't do Canvas message. That doesn't mean you can't do email. I will be in there as well. So, and it's 2026. I've had a smartphone for like, my gosh, like over a decade. I don't see a problem with you guys texting me. Um, and the nice thing is, if you text me, you're probably going to hear from me the same day. Just know I do teach other classes and I might not respond immediately to the text, but generally the same day or within a matter of hours. I can post my number again. That's no problem at all. Yep. Hang on. And I'm assuming, and you tell me if my assumption's incorrect, texting's probably the easiest for you guys and the most readily available. That's just a guess. Any other questions, thoughts, comments, or concerns? If there's something else, we can certainly call it a night. If there is anything else, please bring it up shortly or say, oh, I forgot to tell you, and text me. Um, and I will see you guys in a week, 4:15, and I will send a note out to everybody. The 7 o'clock meeting is canceled, and that I recorded this meeting, explaining everything. And I don't know if you all have group chats or not, but if you do have other classmates, you're able to spread the word as well, that would be certainly helpful. Yeah, no problem. All right. Have a great night, everyone.
You too, sir.
You lose.